Great question. So first I'll mention that some of this did come natural. I think some of this was some like over time or through layers of experiences that I built in kind of this learning and growth mentality. However, one thing that I will say, the first job that I had in tech was at Greenlight Guru. This is a
Mm,
medical device quality management software located in Indianapolis. And one thing that they do is they invest in their employees in a really unique way where they offer mindset coaching. And
mhm.
so while I had been exposed to some of this, I don't know if I knew the true impact until I saw an entire team and company really rally around and invest in mindset in this way. And so that's something that I feel like in many ways, I got it was like a master class in mindset
Yeah.
uh, coaching and growth mindset and all of that. So that definitely that helped quite a bit. So I just wanted to mention that this isn't all self-taught. Some of it is has been learned over time as well. But as for your question about how to foster growth mindset within a team, this comes in many layers. I think one thing that I really try to do when I first get to know a team is really understanding kind of the human, understanding the person,
Mhm.
getting to know them on a deeper human level in order to better work together. And that's something that I think a lot of people kind of jump straight into it and immediately start getting critical or thinking through, how can I squeeze the most out of this employee or get the most out of my team? And I think it's not the right approach. And I think that's something that, one of the first things that I do with teams is I meet with each individual for 60 to 90 minutes and I've developed kind of this outline that I go through and it's almost like an interview in some senses where I go through and talk to them about what motivates them or how they are motivated, um, how they like to give and receive feedback, what are their short and long term goals, what are they really good at, what are the things that they're not so good at, and I like to hear that from them in a more casual kind of authentic way from the beginning. And then there's definitely learning along the way. I mean, I think that's something that is crucial is taking the time to listen to calls, see them in action, get to know, kind of asking questions of, hey, tell me more about why you approach this way, or tell me about what your thought process is here. And I think that's really important is getting to know the individuals in that way. But I think that's where by getting to know them first on a more personal human level, it really allows us to start building trust from the beginning. And then once that is there, I think as a team, a couple things that we really work on is the discussion around kind of radical candor and giving and
Mm,
receiving feedback. I think that's something that is one of the most important topics, not just for CS teams, but truly for all
team.
teams.
Yeah.
And kind of building a culture around feedback, I think is really important. Of it's not just going to come from me. It's I can't I I'll become the bottleneck. I can't have that responsibility of every bit of feedback or every bit of coaching's coming from me. It truly has to be um, something that they are leaning into and they are seeking feedback. They're reaching out to even peers or different cross-functional teams to say, hey, you guys do this really well. Help coach me.
Mhm.
How can I do this? And so I think that's something that again, it's not a you don't flip a switch the minute you join a team. It's something that you've got to invest in them, get to know them, and then start to really talk through specific topics and add in kind of those layers of coaching along time the time.
Yeah, love